The average response rate for unsolicited online surveys hovers between 1 and 3%. Internal customer surveys from established business relationships typically perform better, but still, the majority of the customers who could provide valuable feedback never do. The problem is not that customers do not have opinions. They have plenty. The problem is that no one has made it worth their while to share them. And the survey experience itself has been so consistently tedious that many customers have stopped engaging with the format entirely. Getting meaningful survey responses is not about pestering people until they comply. It is about designing the entire feedback experience, from invitation to completion, in a way that makes participation feel natural, easy, and worthwhile. This video covers how to do that across written, online, and phone survey formats. The first milestone is the invitation, the moment that determines whether a recipient opens a survey or deletes it. The invitation has 3 jobs: communicate why this particular person's input matters, create genuine motivation to respond, and set accurate expectations about time commitment. Most survey invitations fail on all 3. They open with the organization's interests. We are constantly looking to improve. They offer nothing in return for the recipient's time, and they use the word survey, which most people have learned is code for more questions than you expected. The word quick is the second most common lie in the survey invitation vocabulary. Better invitation language is specific, personal, and honest. We're asking 10 clients whose accounts grew by more than 20% this year about what drove that growth, and you're on the list. It's 4 questions and takes about 3 minutes, outperforms generic survey invitations by substantial margins. Personalization, specificity, and accuracy are the 3 levers. The second milestone is incentive design, a misunderstood topic in survey response optimization. The first instinct of many organizations is to add monetary incentives, gift cards, prize draws, discounts. Research on incentive effectiveness reveals a more nuanced picture. For B2C consumer surveys, small incentives consistently improve response rates. For B2B professional surveys, monetary incentives can actually decrease response quality because they attract responders who are motivated by the reward rather than genuine engagement with the topic. The most effective incentives for professional audiences are information-based, sharing the aggregate findings with participants, offering a summary of benchmarks or industry insights that resulted from the research, or providing access to exclusive content relevant to the respondent's role. These incentives are congruent with the professional's self-interest in being well-informed, and they signal that the research is substantive rather than performative. The third milestone is design for completion, the survey architecture that minimizes drop-off from first question to last. Drop-off rates in most surveys are highest between questions 3 and 6, which is where poorly designed surveys reveal their full length and complexity. 4 design principles reduce drop-off. First, front-load significance. Put the most important questions earlier, not later, so that even incomplete responses yield valuable data. Second, use progress indicators. Visual progress bars are small features with disproportionate impact on completion rates. Third, mix question formats. Alternating between scale questions, multiple choice, and brief open text reduces cognitive fatigue. Fourth, make the closing question your best one. End with an open text question that invites perspective rather than just data. Something like, what is the one thing we could do differently that would make the most difference to you? This question consistently generates the most actionable qualitative insight in the entire survey. For phone surveys, the principles are similar, but the execution differs. The introduction must be even crisper. The first 15 seconds determine whether the conversation continues. Professional phone survey respondents respond best to researchers who are clearly organized, who acknowledge the value of the respondent's time immediately, and who have genuine domain knowledge. Open-ended phone questions, rather than scale ratings, often produce richer insight because respondents speak more freely than they write. Here is the trap. Most survey abandonment is caused not by survey length, but by survey irrelevance. Recipients complete surveys about topics they care about and abandon surveys about topics they do not, regardless of length. A 20-question survey on a highly relevant topic outperforms a 5-question survey that feels off-topic for the respondent. The deepest driver of survey response is perceived relevance. And perceived relevance is driven by the quality of audience segmentation in the first milestone. Better survey responses lead to better intelligence, better decisions, and ultimately better customer relationships. The survey is not the product. It is the gateway to the insight that makes strategy sharper. Your go-to. Take any survey your organization currently uses and evaluate it against the 4 design for completion principles. Find the 2 questions with the highest likely drop-off. Revise them. Then A/B test the revised version against the original with your next outreach. Data will show you which version earns more completions. Customer surveys are most powerful when they feed directly into your account strategy and referral approach. The key account interviews video and the referrals video in this series create a complete customer intelligence loop. Make those your next stops. Survey fatigue is a real phenomenon with well-documented consequences for organizational research. As the volume of surveys that professionals and consumers receive has grown dramatically, the population of willing respondents has shrunk. Research from academic journals on survey methodology and from commercial survey platforms consistently finds that average response rates have declined over the past decade, and that the most survey-saturated audiences, marketing professionals, HR leaders, frequent purchasers of consumer goods, show the most dramatic drops in engagement. The implication is not to stop surveying. It is to make every survey worth a respondent's attention through specificity of purpose, precision of design, and genuine follow-through on findings. The concept of mobile-first survey design deserves specific attention, given that the majority of emails are now opened on mobile devices, and surveys accessed through email links are therefore predominantly completed on smartphones. Survey designs that work well on desktop, multi-column layouts, complex matrix questions, scrolling tables, perform poorly on mobile. Mobile-first design principles include single question per screen layouts, large touch targets, response options that work with thumb navigation, and total survey length that does not require extended scrolling. The mismatch between survey design and device context is one of the most consistent and most fixable causes of mid-survey abandonment in current practice. The craft of the open text question also deserves greater investment than most survey designers give it. Open text responses are among the most valuable data generated by any survey. They contain the nuance, the unexpected insight, and the verbatim language that quantitative data cannot capture. But open text questions are often abandoned by respondents who encounter them with insufficient motivation to write. 3 techniques improve open text response rates: placing the most important open text question last when the respondent has already invested in the survey, providing specific prompting rather than a blank box. What specific change would make the most difference? And signaling that responses will be read and considered rather than processed algorithmically. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe to our channel for more practical insights. And if you're ready to go further, check out the next video on your screen.